Let's ace some cues. And if the first question is what am I drinking, it's one of my favorite little treats of all time. The San Pellegrino Momenti. It's sort of like a Spindrift, but like a little more juice slash soda vibes. So it's like a little more flavor, but you guys know I love me a Spindrift, but these are fantastic. So if you guys remember last week I got sick, so I couldn't film a video on Friday, which was gonna be our Q&A video. And I'm not sick anymore, even though it might still sound a little bit like it, but I do still have the questions that y'all asked from that previous week, and I cannot wait to answer them, so let's get right into it. I told you guys to ask me anything at all in the whole world, and you did. There is quite the gambit of questions here, so let's start out with Marianne_10. Marianne asks, what is your last meal that you would ever eat? And this is a really good question. If I could, I would have my dad's spaghetti and meatballs. Now, we know that that is not the case, seeing as my dad's no longer around to make them. So I would probably have Carbone spicy vodka sauce. I would have a really nice glass of wine. Probably, here's the thing, probably a Sauvignon Blanc. Okay, actually, everything's changed. I'm gonna walk you through my whole course. I'm going to start with a glass of champagne, because this is the last meal I'm ever gonna eat, so it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna be hungover tomorrow. So I'm gonna have a glass of champagne to start, like really nice champagne, as well as some fresh raw oysters. That's gonna be my little appetizer. Then we're going to move on to the main course, and for the main course, I'm gonna have a glass of Sauvignon Blanc and a little bit of like a really, really delicious Caesar salad. And then we're gonna do Carbone spicy vodka sauce with spicy rigatoni with vodka sauce. Then we're also going to do like a really, really nice filet mignon. And then the wine's gonna get switched out for like a really, really beautiful Cabernet Sauvignon or like a Côte d'Aron. And oh my God, this sounds so fucking good. Okay, and that steak is cooked rare plus. Like it is like, somebody said once that they want the chef to just walk the cow through a warm room. Like that's how rare they want their steak. That's how rare I want that filet mignon. And then for dessert, I think I'm gonna have like a warm chocolate chip cookie, like Pizookie vibe. Done. Incredible. Finished. Gorgeous. Shital asks, why did I used to live in Washington? That's such a good question. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on here. Well, maybe I have. There's like 300 videos on this channel. I lived in Washington, D.C. a couple years back for like 9 months. Now, the reason that I went was for school. My last semester of school offered a like do your semester in D.C. program, and I sort of finagled my communications degree to let me go, because normally it was like a political science degree, of course, that would go. And I was like, no, there's like so much communication in DC, like I can totally make this work. So I did that, but the only reason I had any interest in going to DC at all was for this really, really horrible guy that I was dating. Maybe he's great. Maybe he's a great person now. I wish him all the best. But at the time we were in a very, very not good relationship, and it was horribly negative, but it was like long distance. So he had moved there and I was going there to kind of be with him and test that out. And also just like the whole reason I was like trying to prove this point of being there was to like vindicate a friendship that had been like broken up years ago. And I was trying to prove a point there. And it was just a very, very like poor decision that needed to be made kind of vibe. So like if I had to go back and do it again, I probably would, because it was really important for like my growth. But it was not the most positive experience, except I broke up with him like 6 months into that trip. And then I stayed the rest of that summer working and making friendships. That's where I got to meet Andrea Lopez, who's one of my very, very dear friends. Honestly, if that whole experience just got me to meet Sarah and Andrea, then it was worth it. Sarah was like my podcast mentor and just a woman I greatly look up to. And Andrea is one of my best friends and also a woman I greatly look up to. So it was worth it. But that's why I moved. I don't know if I've ever gotten into that much detail about that. So thank you for asking. Ooh, Shital asked another great question. What are some lessons you learned from your previous relationship? Since this is just singular, I'm gonna go based off my last relationship that I had, which was really, really important to me and very special to me and taught me more than I think all of the other relationships I've ever been in taught me put together. I learned that I was really, really accepting the absolute bare minimum from men and like being so excited about it. I vividly remember on our second date, we went to this really beautiful restaurant for dinner, and I was like, I was totally not like acting cool like I try to now and like act like I'd been there before. I was just like, oh my God, like this is really nice, da da da. And my boyfriend at the time was like, this is like maybe a step above what you should be barely accepting. Like this is not that special. You deserve this always. And I will always, always remember that and always really appreciate him for that. Not me getting emotional. Great, awesome, love that, cool, very chill vibes. I learned here, this is kind of, oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't say this. Whatever, it's an important lesson that I learned. I don't think it was presented to me in the nicest way ever, but it's an important lesson to learn. Anybody could be lying at any point. So you either make the decision to trust somebody or not to. And once that decision is made, you can't falter between it. You either trust that your partner is sticking by the rules that you guys have established together as a relationship, or you don't trust that, and that's your fucking sign to get out. So that's that. Those are some really important lessons I learned. Oh, Sam, this is one of my patrons, one of my little cooks. Sam asks, did you go to pastry/cooking school or did you learn all on your own / at home? Yes, I have absolutely no formal training, which I am proud of and also am not married to. Like if some amazing opportunity came up for me to go to pastry school, like I would be down, absolutely. But thus far, everything I know is very much self-taught, family taught, friend taught, like YouTube taught kind of vibes, which I am proud of. I think I'm happy with what I do. Thank you for asking, Sam. Emily Jennings asks, what is your favorite and least favorite part of every job you've had? I'm gonna break it up into industry because like I've had so many jobs, but my favorite part of content creation and what I do now and what I'm so passionate about and love so much is that I get to create the food show I've always wanted. And just touching on that, I have been really, really missing having guests on Dead Dad's Kitchen. Truly, and unfortunately I do feel this way. I don't wanna say ashamed, but I just feel a little embarrassed sometimes. Like that's why I haven't had people on, is because it's just me filming all the time. And all I have is this tiny but mighty, wonderful camera that's gotten me this far and 2 little lights. And when I'm hosting, I wanna be so in the moment and so present with the guest who's given me the time to be there, that I don't want to be like, oh, the camera stopped. Oh my God, did your mic stop working? Did this light, oh, this light didn't look good. This light was in the shot. So I've actually reached out to sweet AJ to see if we could maybe get guests back on, which might change the scheduling of stuff. Like we might be seeing a few more podcasts from me for a little while until we get a good bank of like guested Dead Dad's Kitchen episodes. Thank you for listening. I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm really passionate about it and I really miss it. So trying to get that sorted. And then my least favorite part of content creation is just how hard it is and how much I have to try and try and try, and it feels like it doesn't do much. And that's not to say that it bringing you joy is not doing much, but just like, you know, it's like we talked about a couple weeks ago. It's not really sustainable right now, and that's really hard to have a job that you can't count on to pay your bills and let you live. So that part is really tricky. And then my favorite part about the food and the restaurant industry, which I love so very much, is the connection to people and just the proximity to food and joy and excitement. Restaurant industry can always just get like very stressful and like hectic, but that's also part of the fun of it. So yeah, those are my favorite parts of jobs and least favorite parts of jobs. Oh, this is a great question. Serene Destiny or Saren Destiny asks, favorite berry? That is tricky. I'm gonna go with berries that are actually berries. Like I know that technically a tomato is a berry and technically a watermelon is a berry. I'm not doing those ones. I mean, my favorite berry, I think, is a raspberry, even though I believe I'm slightly allergic, because every time I eat them, I get this weird rash on my tongue. But I do not care. I love a raspberry, but I'm not advising you do that. If you're allergic to something, do not eat it. But I love raspberries. I love berries though. Oh. Sarah and Destiny asks another great question. Thoughts on astrology? I think astrology is so fun. I am not somebody who like, if I meet a Gemini, I'm like, oh my God, we can't be friends. But I love learning things about myself. I'm a Leo, so it is very accurate. But I think it's really fun. I think it's really interesting. I know that there was this guy I very, very briefly dated who on our like first date interaction, whatever, like pulled up our like co-stars and was like, oh my God, a Leo woman and a, you know, Scorpion man, like it would work. So and I was like, oh. and here's a quick update. It didn't work. So, you know, I think it's super fun. I have friends that are super into it. I have friends that think it's dumb. I think I like vibe somewhere more on this side of just like, it's cool, why not? But I am a Leo, so like every single time I see one of those astrology things, I always go right to the Leo one and then don't listen to any others, which is very Leo of me. Oh, Mariah Makes is another patron. Hi, Mariah. But we are in a fight now. Mariah Makes asks, this is a fucked up question. Would you rather never be able to fill in your eyebrows or never be able to wear lashes? I would imagine that means I can't do anything to my eyebrows. Like I couldn't get them like tinted and laminated either. I think it would be no lashes because I love them, but I feel more I don't even know the last time I wore makeup without lashes. I either wear makeup and there are lashes or I don't wear makeup. And I think that my face without brows filled in is just kind of unbalanced. So, wow, that was kind of a crazy question to answer. Angela Elaine 8 asks, top 3 favorite condiments. Great question. Mayo, mustard. Well, are we calling a condiment like anything that you would top something with? Like is pico de gallo a condiment? I'm gonna go with like classic condiments. So I'm gonna go mayo, mustard. I love Cholula. I love Cholula hot sauce on my eggs. Oh, so good. I'm gonna say those. That's the first 3. I'm gonna say those. I'm gonna stick to it. Tie-dye Sky asks, if I were a tree, what tree would I be? I think a magnolia tree or a fruiting tree. I think magnolia of flowers are just so beautiful and they create such a big, beautiful tree. But we had an orange tree growing up in the backyard and I loved that tree and that smells gorgeous as well. Actually, I think an orange tree. Orange tree. I've never thought about that question. Amazing question. Ooh, ExoMeg88 asks, what are some of my favorite comfort foods? Pasta with meat sauce is a great comfort food of mine. My mom makes this really delicious chicken. It's the chicken that I made on the episode with Niles. I love chicken soup with orzo in it. Oh, so good. I love a good Italian sandwich, like an Italian sub. I love lemonade. Lemonade brings me a lot of comfort. And bread, freshly baked bread. My mom bakes bread all the time, so it always makes me feel happy. That's kind of why I bake focaccia so often. And one more question. This is also from Maria. Oh my God, amazing. I love Maria. Maria is so funny. You have to check her out. She is a joy and a half. She has the best style. Favorite drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. My favorite non-alcoholic drink that isn't water, because I am a water ass bitch. Probably lemonade, like a good tart lemonade. Oh, I love. And my favorite alcoholic drink is, I love wine. I love wine. But like a really well-made cocktail is great too. I don't have a go-to cocktail. If I did, it'd probably be a margarita. But I think like a margarita or a glass of like really cold Sauvignon Blanc. Done. Incredible. Gorge. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Thank you for being patient. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get a video out last week, but I really appreciate you guys hanging in and watching this one. And I actually start a new job next week, so I'm not sure what our video posting situation will look like, but it's going to start evening out very soon, and hopefully we're going to have more of those Dead Dad's Kitchen guests coming on, which I'm so excited about. Oh, I can't wait. If you guys want to check out the Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Irene Walton. That would be awesome. If you want to support right here in YouTube, you can just like, comment, or subscribe down below. It would be incredible. Thank you guys for your beautiful questions. It was so fun getting to answer them. I hope you have a great day. I hope you drink water. And I hope you ask somebody one of the questions that we heard in the video today, because there were some really great ones. Ask someone what kind of tree they want to be. Incredible. All right, love you, bye.